Who has done something interesting? So, Dorothy, do you want to share with us, maybe put it in the chat, what it took you to get your mind map together? I can see they worked with Claude. Excellent. What did you work on? What did you create? It'll be interesting to just see snippets of what you did. What I love about this space is I'm really beginning to see us taking steps and strides, and the time we have been spending together is actually really bearing fruit, and that is very exciting for me. This week, I think I finalized on a couple of coaching sessions, this week being since last week, Tuesday. And just for me, what was outstanding was seeing impact. I have been measuring impact deliberately this week, and it's been such a powerful experience. Sometimes you know you're having impact, other times you're not too sure how much impact you're having. So to actually sit down and hear from people, receive messages, what am I looking for on this thing? Receive messages from people who are sharing how what you have taught has helped them, for me has been really, really powerful. I've seen people implement things and absolutely do amazing things. So this week has been very encouraging for me. I don't like that background. Allow me to make it blurry. Okay. Now, today we move on to a new topic. It's amazing how we are already in the 5th month. It just feels like we started January the other day. And we've covered several sectors. We have done market, we have done purpose and focus for the year as the founder. We have talked about how do we then analyze our market, figure out our avatar, and then we've been doing a lot of actual marketing issues. So we're still in the same conversation. The next segment of what we want to do is be seen to be sold. Remember we were doing be seen, be chosen last month. So it's nice be seen, from seen to sold. People know you're there. We talked about how to get visible, how to be seen. And I love that we are creating Instagram mind maps. We're trying new AI tools. We are pushing the boundaries of what has been common to us to move to places that have otherwise not been our favorite spots, but now we have the confidence to try them. So amazing, amazing, amazing. Now, what we'll be looking at this month is really the customer side of it. So call to actions, how do we get referrals, which channels do we pick? And then we will now pick one physical event channel. So we'll do a pop-up or stall at an event or an exhibition. So we want to begin to now crystallize the things that you can actually take and do. When you see somebody doing a pop-up, you won't be like, I don't know how to do that. No, 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 no. We want our community to be able to actually step out and do something good and big. So really the goal is not visibility alone. The goal is to help the right customer see clearly, trust faster, and then take the next step with confidence. So that is why we're starting with call to action mastery, excuse me, because this is about the sales conversion. We want to move from just them seeing us online to actually buying, or seeing our goods on the shop floor and move them to actually buying. So we will have the guiding question is, am I clearly telling customers what to do next? That's the question we're answering today. And really, we want to help you create clear call to actions, which will drive activity. Now, why is this important? Visibility on its own does not generate sales. How many times have you put up a poster, done a meta ad, done what advert, and crickets, there's no response, right? So a customer can see your post, visit your page, see your WhatsApp status, even like what you offer, but still not take action. And many of us struggle there because really the right questions to be asking is, are people seeing me? And the bigger one is, when they see me, what do they know what to do next? So if you look at our posters always have register here, register now, because that's what we want people to do next. And then enquiries, contacts are at the bottom, uko chini, and they're smaller. Why do we do that? Because really, when they see the poster, what do we want them to do? And then the same poster is repeated in the caption. All right. So the customer is already busy. They're already distracted. If you think about it, if you're an interior designer, there are probably 1,000 of you in your, let's say in your state or in your province. Okay. If you are a coach, how many of them already exist? You run a thrift store. How many other thrift stores are there? And what is it about that thrift store of yours that will draw people to you? If your message does not guide your customers to a specific, relatable, easy to do step, then they will leave, even when they're interested. All right? So, a call to action is not pressure. No. Neither is it manipulation. Neither is it shouting buy now on every post. Neither is it begging. You see, if you come in any of these formats, if you come begging me to buy, I'll be like, why aren't people buying? At least for me, that's what happens. I'm like, you're begging me like that because there's a problem and people are not buying your product. It may not be true. But by and large, that will be the effect it has. All right. So what is it? And we often call it CTA. So going forward, if you see me hear me saying CTA, I mean call to action, right? It's a clear instruction that tells your audience, your customers, what to do next. It guides them. It's a request for a call, ask them to message, book, register, visit, buy, download. The list is endless. But it is a clear instruction of where to go next. And that is important because you want your customer to move with clarity, but you also want to respect their decision-making process while removing unnecessary confusion. So that's what we're looking to do, remove confusion. At the end of the day, you want your customers to know exactly what it is you want them to do. All right? Now, when you think about that, the last time you talked about whatever business it is you did you give people a clear action to follow? On the last post you made, what did you ask people to do after reading? Food for thought, because that's what we're discussing today. So at the core of it, there are a few foundational things we need to think about. All right. Number one, attention is not equal to action. Customers can like your content and never buy, admire your work and never inquire, follow your page and do not know what you offer. You put up all these cool posts, but what are you doing at the end of it? Attention shows that people have noticed you. Action shows they understand what to do next. And really, that is what we want them to do. We want all our customers to take action. But have we adequately guided them to that place where they can take action? All right. Now, when you think about it, the key question you're asking yourself is, what do I want the customer to do after this? Because visibility needs to have a conversion pathway. There needs to be hey, you've seen, you like, where do we go next? Now, remember, people buy after 7 to 12 touches. That's when people buy. So if they're going to buy after 7 to 12 touches, every time they see, there needs to be a call to action. Depending on, remember last week we ended with a customer journey, depending on their phase of customer journey. So if the answer is not clear to you, if you do not even know what you want them to do, then it's not clear to them. So remember, attention is not equal to action. And a clear CTA comes from a clear goal. So what is the business goal behind this post, behind this campaign, behind you being at that event? What is your business goal? Because each goal has a different call to action. So are you trying to get inquiries and referrals? Do you want registrations? Do you want to sell a specific product or service? Do you want to book consultations? Do you want to grow your WhatsApp list, your email list? Do you want to just connect with people and have them test a product that you have on site? What is the bigger goal? So when we look at all the things we're doing, we are saying that our business goals drive our marketing activities, which drive our call to action. So if we just want followers, and remember, followers is a vanity metric. What we want people is we want people to engage with our products, right? When I put up a post, I want a few people to respond. So I could have 200 views, but no responses. That for me is a vanity metric, because who are the 200 people? The people who come and engage, so they actually pick a specific response to give to my post. And then the ones who not only engage and comment, those are the ones I like even more. Because then I know this is my kind of person. I can continue to create conversations with them that has a common end game, because we have a similar drive. I hope you can find your people. You can see of the people you engage with where your people are. All right. So let's look at it. If I want more sales, it would be something like order today on WhatsApp. All right. Enquiries, send us a message to confirm availability, or fill the form to get more information. Book your consultation using the link below, download the guide and see what works for your business. But if I don't have a clear goal, if my goal is confused, I will have a very weak call to action. So understand that you have to be crystal clear what you're working to produce, what impact you want to have, what you want people to move towards, and then you craft your call to action around that. Understand that the customer must understand your CTA. A CTA is stronger when the customer can see why the next step matters, and it tells them what they will receive from the action. All right. So look at these examples. Register today to learn how to turn visibility into sales. That one I would sign up for. All right. Or share this with a founder who needs clearer sales direction. Sometimes I may be posting in a space where it's not my direct customer. Like sometimes on my status, it will be like, share this with a founder you know. Because not everybody who sees my status is a founder. Some of them are my young Gen Zs who are still in college, but they may know one of their peers who could use that information before they do, because their peers are running businesses. Or it could be somebody who wants to start listening to you, and I have you on my status. So then that's where it is share widely. So sometimes when I put posters in groups, I do share widely when I'm just looking for visibility. And a lot of people share and come back done. I'm like, thank you, sharp. Even when I send to individuals, I often have just that caption, share widely, or with anybody you know who would need this. So then that allows them to know, acha kama sio mimi, the thing this person wants me to do is share it on. Even if it is not me who's using this item, the thing the person who shared it with me needs me to do is to pass it on and to pass it to their communities. But then you understand that the customer determines the depth of the CTA and the depth of engagement. So not every customer is ready to buy now. Some are just discovering you, or comparing, or interested but still unsure, or ready to buy and just need payment details. So each CTA should fit where the customer is in the decision-making process. Now, sometimes you are putting it on your WhatsApp status and you know there are people who are in the discovery stage, but what you want people to do is pay. You don't shy away from putting that call to action there. Your call to action acts as the sieve. So if I'm just ready to scout, look, I will see the payment details and I will pass. But what if you didn't put your payment details there on the poster, on the flyer, and then somebody wants to immediately sign up for your event? And then I met a lady who said, but us guys know when you click links, you have to pay. I'm like, no. So that changed our posters because now our posters have free webinar at the top. Because people have previously liked a webinar, gone to sign up, and then there's no pricing on the webinar, but on the registration form, there is a price. So then I realized I'm losing a part of my market. So I began ensuring we have free webinar at the top. What that has done, it has channeled people into the community. So then I am catering to the interested but unsure. So you figure out which of your target audience you're approaching, which part you'd like them to do, and then you make sure your call to action matches that. Now, so for different audiences, you have different call to actions. So you have a low pressure CTA for a warm audience. All right, send us a message with your biggest challenge. Sorry, that should be for a new audience, not a warm audience. For a new audience, you are giving them low pressure. What's your greatest challenge? Reply with sales and we'll share details. Ask about the packages that fit your business. All right? No, this is actually a warm audience. Sorry, yeah, okay, Sawa. This is the warm audience. For the new audience, it will be a different set because what you're looking for them is engagement call to actions. You want them to take steps that will actually connect with you. So you think using things like follow 4 practical business lessons or download the checklist because they are new. You want to build trust. Join the free webinar. So the first one we did was warm. They already know you. They already know what you're doing. Now they can have a conversation, but they may not be ready to buy. Now for your ready audience, you can use things like book your session, order now, pay via the link to confirm your slot, call us to schedule delivery. You have all these things you can tell them because they are already not only aware, but they are already your customer base. All right. So the mistake many of us make is using the same CTA for everyone. So depending on what action you want taken by the customer in response to the marketing action you have taken, that will dictate your CTA. All right. So even when you're sending out emails, you would categorize your client list. It gets a bit, it's a bit more technical, but you would categorize your client list. Because if I signed up today, you cannot be telling me book your session now. You should be leading me down a different set of conversations so that I can understand what you do and enjoy the fact that this is a person we resonate together and then move to warm. So you're asking about my challenges, and then you come here to encourage me to book a slot. So remember your customer journey, how you talk to the person along your customer journey then tells you a lot. So some of you may be asking, but now I'm posting on social media. So there should be some primary post. Like I know there was I went to somebody's online, a live event, and they said, for those of you who are new and need to understand what we do, just go to our bio. The link to our landing page is in the bio. Clear instructions for the Ask Newbies. And then there was a pinned post on their profile with next steps. So it was very clear. And you understand that in every conversation you have, in every event you have, you will have newbies and you will have people who've been there for longer. Let me use a church example. How many of us in our churches on Sunday, they ask, who are our visitors? And visitors stand and they get a card and they get somebody to go and talk to them as they're having tea, find out whether they want to come back again, and that conversation starts. Whereas the locals, you're like, Jay Kopale, tea is over there at the back of in such and such a hall. But how they deal with a first-time visitor is different. Use the same thinking when you're dealing with your customers, all right? So retention builds confidence. So are you able to keep their attention? Understand that every time you put up a post, just about 20% of your audience will see that post. So don't talk about that thing once, right? They may miss the first message, or they may see it when they're distracted by something else, or many of us need to hear the same offer several times before we act. That is why people run ads. Because when you run an ad, it will show up on my timeline if I'm your target audience several times a day. So whenever it is I'm up and I'm scrolling and I'm reading, your ad will come up. All right. Now, when you think about it like that, what you realize is consistency matters in conversion. Because if I'm there, I become the go-to person. It's the same way our local beverage companies have gained traction. There are guys who we knew when we were in high school for, this diluting juice. They were brands we knew. As the years have gone, other brands have come up, so they've had to compete with this existing brand. When we look at soda brands, we know who came first, we know who has come and gone, we know who started and has completely disappeared, who has come, gone, and come back. So what happens is your call to action works better when it becomes a part of your consistent communication. So it is not something you remember only when sales are low. It is something that you speak about on a daily basis until people begin to recognize you. All right? Now, what you do next is you repeat the offer, you let people know again what the next step is, you talk about the value they will gain from using your product, you share the link, you give an invitation. Now, you're not doing it haphazardly in a noisy fashion, you are doing it in a consistent pattern that now gives clarity so that when the timing is right, that day I need that particular thing, I remember, wasn't it Selena who used to put this thing up? And I know many times I've gone to people, I'm like, there's a post you shared. I think, was it you who shared the post about 123? They'll be like, yeah, but it is so and so's post. Can I give you their number? Right? Or yes, I'm the one. Can you please reshare the link? Is it still open? Are we still on track for that thing? How is it possible that I would remember who it was? Because you consistently talked about the same offer. So if you have multiple products on multiple platforms with different audiences, you need to go into all those spaces and talk consistently about your product. Because when you talk about your product, then people remember. All right. So let's look at examples of headlines. And this is the simple structure. There's an action to take, value to be received, and the next thing to do. Remember that structure: action, value, and next step. So let's look at some. For a webinar, a weak call to action will be join us. A stronger one would be register for the free webinar and learn how to turn visibility into sales. Join us seems cool because it's short and punchy, but what is the value I will receive? So here, register for a free webinar. The value is learn how to turn visibility into steps. Sales, sorry. Register is the next step. Sorry, and rest is the action, and then you have the free webinar in the middle, right? So when you look at it, you're able to see exactly why you should join this program and what you should come out of it. So that when you join the program, if you don't come out with that thing, you're able to say, but you said we'll come out with this. I didn't receive it. Yes, you're able to give good feedback. You're able to give good feedback. All right. For a product business, our weak call to action is buy now. But do you know a few years ago, that was a good call to action? Many, many years ago, when we did all the advertising in newspapers, buy now was a good call to action because we didn't have space. The classified sell space per word. So land for sale, location, acreage, value, buy now, and a phone number. And hopefully, sometimes they put a name, sometimes the phone number too. All right. A stronger one would be order today and get a learning kit that makes revision easier for your child. Order today. Get a learning kit. That's the product. And the value is it makes revision easier for your child. This means that their target audience is a person whose child is grappling with focusing when they're doing their revision. So remember, you tie your call to action to a business goal and you tie your product to a well-defined audience. Can you see how all these things directly impact the kind of call to action we're able to deliver? All right. If you're with me, let me see a YY in the comment section. Thank you. You have shared your mind map. Excellent, excellent. I've seen them begin coming in. All right. For a service business, DM for details. How many of us have seen this call to action and thought, see, work a bay up a poster, put the price on the poster, right? As a stronger one could be send us a message to choose the platform or the package that fits your business stage. Another one could be click the link and ask us a question or send us a question we answer. Let it be something that elicits action. DM for details. What details? I know on social media that a common one is if you want to find out more, put clarity in the comment section and I will send you the link, I'll send you the webinar, there's action you take. When it's a service business, you can't do DM for details. Any business, even product business, DM for details. Why? So you just give us the details out there. That's the natural response. All right. If we're looking for an event vendor, book us. For what? But if you tell me to book a consultation and let you help me plan a celebration, yeah, I will come running because I want something that is personal, beautiful, and stress-free. I recently had an event and it was personal, beautiful, and stress-free because I had young people planning it and there was no stress or pressure on my plate. That's why I handed it to them because they know me well enough to deliver a quality product. But we had to sit down and talk. So it's the same thing your customer is looking for. If you are running an event business, people want to feel safe with the infrastructure you promise. So for a consultant or a coach, book a clarity session and identify one priority to focus on next. And what I tell, like sometimes when I'm running classes, I tell people I'll give you a 15-minute consult. Of course, it's because they're paying fees, it's partly covered. And we're just tackling one issue. We're looking for clarity. Everything else after that is a coaching session. Right? So when you have a clear call to action, what you find is that you have better conversion. And that is what we are looking for. So we have examples, many, many examples. And what I've done is try to look across the board for as many examples as we can. As you can see, these are for inquiries. DM us today and we'll help you choose the right package. Sometimes what you want them to do is send us a message on this number. When they say hi, if like it's a WhatsApp chatbot, you have your chatbot do the basics, then you take up from somewhere. Different people have different chatbots. Like CIC tell you, if you want to access your money fast, if you want to withdraw your money, send an email here. You can contact us by USSD. You can download the app. The app doesn't work for me. And then you can WhatsApp. And then I can't remember where it is in the messaging I saw it. You get a faster response using WhatsApp and USSD. Now you go to their WhatsApp number, it's a complete bot, fully automated. So you can actually go through your withdrawal process in the middle of the night and your 2 days start immediately, right? Whereas your email, sending them an email is, receipt is determined on when somebody opens that email. So they have been systematically sending everybody to WhatsApp. And it has been helpful, all right? So these are some of the things you could say when you're doing inquiries. If you want to drive sales, these are some examples. Pay today to secure your lot. Pay today for delivery tomorrow. I know Beauty Click, when you're ordering it is order now, and then when you're finishing and you're choosing your what's it called, your delivery method, they give you reasons why you should pick each delivery method. So remember, we said there are call to actions at every phase. So when you open their page, boom, on top you got a lot of the offers, or you see their offers on social media, and then it asks you, want to go to the site now, or purchase now? So you click that, it directs you straight to the site on the product that you have clicked. What are they doing? They are choosing the option for you. As in, if you don't want to buy, don't go beyond here. But if you want to buy, go beyond here. And then when you selected your product and your product goes to the cart, they ask you, proceed to checkout or continue shopping. Yeah. So I want to continue shopping. So I click continue shopping. And you can browse for as long as you want in that session. Once you're done, at every point, the question is continue checkout or proceed to checkout or continue shopping. Very clear, because they want to drive sales. To drive bookings, here are some examples and you can use. Reserve your appointment before the week fills up. That helps me feel this is an exclusive service. Other people are booking in. So maybe I'll try this week. Then I'll be like, hey, Kumbe, it actually fills. So then I'll quickly book for the next one. All right. If you're looking to drive event attendance, there are things you can put. Invite another founder and register before the session starts. Secure your seat and come ready to take action. So there's a lot of different combinations you can use. The key thing is to have an action you need people to take, the value you will give them, and really you want them to feel that they are at the core of everything you do. So they are critically important. I don't know how many of us have seen call to actions and turned away. What are the call to actions you've seen that have made you know, I am not going there? Has anybody had an experience with a bad call to action they'd like to share with us? You can drop it in the chat, or you can unmute and let us know what it is. Has anybody seen a really bad call to action they want to share with us? Like really bad. Can I share? Yes, please. Yes, please.
There's a page I got to on IG, and I think it was a training of some sort. And so you say click here for more information. So I clicked. So they take you to the page where you want to read more about the event and you can get more details. But you had to watch a clip before you get the details. And it was not a short clip, it was like 5 or 7 minutes long. I exited. Because I thought I want information. I don't want to watch something I don't want to watch this. And tell me what it's about, then I'll decide. Don't force me to watch something. So I left. I didn't. You know how you leave and follow and friend everything. Yeah.
Okay, that's a bit extreme, but yes, I can see how that can happen. Have you seen these guys who say, sign up for free? And then when you go to sign up, you find it is $197.
Yes.
Those are the ones I find reprehensible, because then you have given false hope to your audience. All right. So every time any action you want to take has a different combination. All right. Simple things like tag somebody who needs this or needs to move from this to that. Send this to somebody who you know is struggling with XYZ. Share this with, So whatever action you want your people to take, just be sure that you have gone through the full matrix. And what do you want them to do? You want them to take action, to receive a value and get a next step. All right. So you want to keep those three things front and center. So what are the common mistakes we need to avoid? Number one, hiding the next step. We've just had about one thing of hiding the next step. You have to watch a 5 to 7 minute clip before you get to the next step. Or this is another thing that people do, and it's really fueled by the American market. You keep having to scroll and read all these things before you get to the button to click to the next step. So some of us write a full post but forget to tell people what to do next. Or some of us have it layered in between so many words and so many things that the person cannot find what they're looking for. I remember there are 3 or 4 offers I was interested in online, but the route to what to do next was so long. I opted out. I was like, it's never that serious. It never is. And then I found somebody else who did something similar, very short post, link at the bottom, quick, boom, boom, opens into their sales account, pay this much if you, of course, there's a discount if you buy today, those kind of things. So I was able to quickly, within 5 or 7 minutes, get all the prompts I needed for some work I was trying to do at a very affordable price. The second mistake is using vague phrases. Reach out, check us out, let's connect, support us. This can work in casual communication, but often they are not very useful for conversion. They're too broad. Okay, check you out where? All right. Do you have a link that people are going to click when you say checkout? Let's connect. Where? Right? Support us. How? What does support mean? Does it mean I share your post? Does it mean I refer somebody else? Does it mean what? All right. So we have to be clear. Being vague, sometimes we say it helps us reach more people. But if you're not clear, then the people who you're looking for will not know it is them you're looking for. Asking for too many actions. Follow, like, share, comment, call, register, buy, and invite a friend. No, 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 no. Choose the most important action. How about share? Just pick one, right? And because you have to put this post up and send this information out quite several times before people make their choice, you have time to use each of those actions differently. You have time. If it's an event invite, your first call to action is book an early bird ticket. Towards the event, you're like, few tickets left, few days remaining before you pay, get price. So buy your ticket now. You have drawn urgency. But to have all these things in one, and we're becoming better at not having that, but there are still people who are putting it all together. Number 4 is making the customer work too hard. If they have to search for the link, ask for the price, look for the location. Oh my goodness, there's an event where we literally had to look for the location on Google Maps, and it turned out to be an old location. They had moved. And I remember one of my friends went for an event and the same thing happened, and she was in the completely wrong direction. She went home. We want the call to action to be as simple and as straightforward as possible. That is also why for QSS, we have one link. We had one link for 2 years and it just somehow got corrupted. So we shifted the link for the first time last month. But that link was created in 2023, September, because we hold it on the same platform. It's the same Zoom room. It's a repeated meeting. So why create a new link every day? Do we share the link weekly? Yes. But it's the same link. So if you have the link and you save it somewhere, you will always be able to log in. Don't make your customers work. Number 5 is only using CTAs when desperate for sales. Your call to action should be part of your regular communication. Because I'm sure you have one vanilla product. A vanilla product is on sale 24/7, 365. That if people want to really experience your brand, there is one thing they can always do. So in every communication, you have a place to send people. It could be sign up for this, download the checklist, take an assessment, any of them, right? What you need is customers always know how to move forward. But sometimes we come, oh my God, we didn't make money last month. So we run this frantic campaign without thinking. We also know that through the year, we've got holidays. So you can do a New Year sale, a Valentine sale, an Easter sale, a Mother's Day sale, and Mother's Day shows up twice. You can do a Father's Day sale, Jamhuri Day. You can figure out what are the events around your community that keep your sales consistent so that you're not using call to actions when you are desperate. They need to be part of your consistent communications. So as we close, I want you to pick one of these questions and ask, or actually all of them. Where are people currently noticing my business? By now, because of what you've done the whole of April, you should already be able to answer that question quickly. And then you ask yourself the next question. When they notice me, is the next step clear? And what is clarity? Knowing the action you want them to take. And then you ask yourself, does your call to action explain the value of taking that step? Or are you asking them to do too many things at the same time? And I think for me, the most important question is, where do I need to repeat this invitation more consistently? What it allows you to do, it allows you to select a focus point. So you're not talking to everybody. If you have clearly defined your customer avatar, you know who they are, where they are, what they like, how frequently they like it, and you are working with that cycle. You're also tracking the trends that are around them that are changing so that you're also able to speak directly to that element. So the thing we must do is choose one offer, one audience, one action that you want people to take, and then create a simple call to action that tells them what to do, why it matters, and how to respond. All right? Because what you want to do is to remove confusion completely without pressuring people. You want to provide clarity that turns attention into action. Clarity is the call to action. You want people to know exactly what they're getting, what they need to do, and how they will get it. Right? So as we wind down, I need us to think about this thing. Visibility gets attention, but clarity turns attention into action. So are your call to actions clear? And you know what? It is likely they are not. Even we found our call to actions are not clear. We're still clarifying them. Do you have a call to action on everything you put out? Sometimes what you're looking for is additional information. So ask a question and ask people to answer the question in the comments below. Does anybody have a question or a reflection they would like to share? Question or reflection? As I take a sip of water. Question or reflection? What are we carrying away with us? Anybody wants to share what they're carrying away?
Maybe I could share. The reflection questions were hard. I was like, oh, after a hard day, I'm getting harder questions. But I like that you gave answers, like, choose one offer, choose one audience, choose one action. Because
Yeah.
I was just stuck there, like, what are they? But I'm so happy you gave like a very clear path on what to keep doing. And it was very similar to something I was looking at the other day, one problem, one city, one solution. So I think it's being repeated in a different way, and it's I'm internalizing it more. So I appreciate.
Excellent. I like what you already do with your products because you kind of focus on one line every week, one different thought pattern. So there you have one offer, one audience, one action. All right. I see in the chat, clarity turns attention into action. That's your takeaway. Excellent. So I'd like to see what each of us is going to do on our profiles this week. What are we going to change? What are we going to put out? So if you post a call to action or you post something that you want people to do, please feel free to tag us. One of the biggest things I love to see is how the community is applying what they're learning and how they're growing. And I was so encouraged last week when I saw what Dorothy put together. So, of the lessons we've been doing, Dorothy has put together her mind map. For those of you on the call in the room, you can see it. It's in the chat. It's such a clear picture from who her identity is to how she will deploy her content pillars. And that for me is evidence that when we take the things we're learning in this space, we are actually able to structure our businesses and our brands and expand our reach. And you know that content and that mind map you've done, Dorothy, you can actually take it and apply it across your business, even into your marketing campaigns, because you have your content pillars, right? You also have figured out what your model for delivery is. You've also figured out what is the frequency of your posting on you selected Instagram as where you're going to start. And you try that and you test and you keep adjusting until you find your sweet spot. So, what I want to encourage all of us to do is exactly what Karen said when she was thinking. What is the one thing you can do? One audience, one offer, one action, and then create a call to action around that. Because when you do that, and remember, you repeat it over and over again in different versions, on different posts, in different platforms, so that then your customer knows exactly what you would like them to do. So I need to wrap that section up there and encourage us to, when you do your content online, tag other people in the class, in the community, so that then we can also share what you do. Sometimes I may not be a user of your product, but I know somebody who does. I could be a user of your product and I know many people who would like it, so I can also share it. So we will be starting a market day, hopefully by about the end of this month. There are a few final details we're looking at, but in the community, we're going to start a market day so that then we understand what everybody does and we're able to support one another's business. We will also be doing specialized conversation sessions where you get to book, of course, after activities, you get to have certain short sessions, either with Joe or myself as coaches, just to reorganize and realign your thought patterns because we are seeing transformation in the entrepreneurship place and we are diligently focused on keeping our community moving with us. So we look forward to when we roll out these things by the end of the month. As we enter the last month of the first half, we will be rolling out some activities that will be very useful to helping us grow as a community. But before then, let us find out what each other's handles are, and let's go and see what each other are doing, and then we are able to quietly come back and say, this call to action was simple and it encouraged me to do XYZ. I already buy from quite a few of you, those of you who've got products in the community. I try to patronize everybody and I'm enjoying every product I've bought in the community so far. So we thank you for coming in every Tuesday as we wind down. Our question is, where are we going to now? Yes, I'm glad Dorothy resonated with what I was saying because you've already put it in the chat. Excellent. As always, we like to get feedback and then we readjust and reorganize around the feedback. We have noticed there's been a request for another hangout. We did a hangout in December. So we're hoping we can do something in the next maybe month or two. We'll give you adequate notice and location. It is likely to be on a Saturday morning. Some of us evenings don't quite work because of where we stay. So it's going to likely to be a Saturday morning. We see that's a good timeline for people. So just look out for that one. Be on the lookout in the community. That is coming up. So feel free to give us feedback about the event. Again, we're in partnership with the Startup Summit, and we have the Startup Summit at the end of this month, and we also have an awards gala. So feel free to register. The Trailblazer and Alibad are done. So now we are really at the regular tickets. We are trusting that when they're running flash sales and we will have special offers for our communities, we are going to bring those tickets into the house. Otherwise, we'll be at the United States International University, USIU Africa, and it will be an amazing time to meet not only other business leaders, but also expand the knowledge that you have, grow your community, and learn what is around us. Yes, T-Bags, I see your hand.
Dorothy has a comment in the group asking for people's IG accounts.
Yes.
If you guys
What
can share their accounts.
Yes, they can put them in the chat.
Thank you.
Or if you're part of the community, which is where we're going next. Oops, where have I gone? Here is where we were. All right. So if you're part of the community, even better, put them in the community. So we run a community called The Circle. Why are we called The Circle? Because the circle is an unending link. It has no beginning, it has no end, and we continue to grow and grow together. And what we want to do is we want to drive each and every one of us to become the fullness of who we are. So let me tell a story. When I first joined the community, maybe it was in 2000, it was around COVID. I was saying communities are so much work, but some of my best growth happened in that community. When opportunities to serve came up, I jumped on them. That's how I learned to run Zoom, because Zoom was just coming up and I didn't have an account. So having access to this other people's account taught me a lot of good things. I was able to ask a lot of questions and grow a lot. And we had fun activities in our community. So this year, we are moving to ensure that we now move we say we're catalysts, right? So we want to see everybody catalyze something. So we'll be a lot more focused on having our members do activities and hearing your growth stories. I love, like I've referenced Dorothy today, I've referenced Karen, because there are people I've not only seen what they're doing, but I have heard how they have transformed and how they have grown. So we want to really begin to tell those stories and strengthen the community. We'll be calling for people to be more engaged, to take up roles and responsibilities, so that then we don't just empower and inspire, we allow people to live out the fullness of who they are. And finally, as always, we have help. We are never working on our own, never, ever. And for us, that's why we are so grateful to the organizations we partnership. Thai Events are the ones who hold the Nairobi Startup Summit. So Events do a monthly mixer. I will be asking her to share the poster for the next mixer. Every first Friday of the month, there's a business mixer, which is really an opportunity to meet people. You can exhibit. That is how I met Karen. And you also learn, or you can also share the knowledge you have. It's a fun community event. We learn, we play, we joke, we laugh. Those events are really amazing. So that would be a good place to go. Zurich Consulting is one of our partners. Joe and I are coaches on their ecosystem. They run a fantastic prosperity dashboard. And we will be looking for opportunities to get our communities to use that. We use that tool when we are supporting. We have some partnerships with a couple of banks and we're supporting their customers and their teams to get out of debt. And it's really an amazing tool that fundamentally rewires your financial thinking and allows you to, in one dashboard, see where you are, set your goals, and then you have access to a coach who helps you keep to your goals. So when we say we are catalyzing the entrepreneurship space, we are not joking. So to all our partners, we say a very big thank you. We have publishers in the house, we have financial services, we have an innovation hub. So whatever it is you're looking for, ask us and we'll be able to connect you to it. And really with that, we say it's always a pleasure to be here every Tuesday. And I've just been bitten by a mosquito. To be here every Tuesday and learn together. And one of the things I love is at the end of every Tuesday session, I'm like, Chesuvide, what have you taught today that you haven't perfected? And we go and perfect. So we also encourage you to go to our YouTube channel, Afrikan with a K, MSME Collective. You will find a lot of shows there. We also put up every recording. So by the end of the week, this session will be up. You can go back and re-listen before we come and we do the session next week. So thank you everybody for showing up. Thank you for being so diligent with your time. We are 7 minutes past the hour, which means we're within our time because we take 75 minutes. And we are grateful for all the work you're doing. May the Lord bless you in excess of your sacrifices. May He bless the work of your hands and accelerate your entrance into the fullness of your potential. Have an amazing week, and we'll see you again next week on Tuesday. Thank you, everybody. Have a fantastic rest of your week.